Hello friends, it's me, EJ Massa, here to play a game, and this is Final Fantasy V for Job Fiesta. If you want to know where I left off, I just got the last crystal job, which was Chemist, which is a windfall, really. If you don't know, the 4 Job Fiesta is a challenge run, basically, that happens every year. It's an event where a lot of players will play this game in a certain way, which is every crystal you get a certain amount of jobs, and you ask the Twitter bot, Gilgabot, spin-off of Gilgamesh, you ask him for a job, and he gives you a job, and you're locked into that job. And you must have one job for each crystal. I now have all 4 crystals, although in this part of the game I only have 3 characters. I got the Monk, the Red Mage, Bard, and Chemist. And Chemist is a very good job. A very good job. A lot of people will re-roll their characters if they get the Chemist because it's so cheap, but I'm not that kind of person. I am just going to take my windfall of the Chemist, the best job, and I'm going to roll with it. What I did, off camera actually, was I farmed a lot of things. I farmed, well, namely just one thing, the turtle shell. You see I have 99 of them. So what I did was I just walked. I can give you a demonstration of what I did off camera. Is that I walked in this field. I see there's a tortoise right there. If you kill this tortoise, you get a turtle shell. And those turtle shells are a key ingredient. I see that was what was dropped there, was the turtle shell. It's a key ingredient for the chemist to use. So that will be very helpful in this. The ability is called Succubus Kiss, which is, it does a lot of damage, and it takes that damage and heals you. So it's very powerful, and you can spam it, and it works on everything, or a lot of things, and it makes the chemist a very strong class. Let's just say that. So I'll be abusing the chemist throughout the rest of the run, which is very pleasing to me. I don't like trying very hard. I like abusing the system, especially when the system works in my favor. So, what else more can I say about that? So now, our team wants to go to Goluf's world. Goluf? Goluf. I don't know. And save him. Or save the world. Because X-Death is released upon Goluf's world. I'm pretty excited. I guess there is going to be a pixel remaster of this game for iOS and Steam soon, which is pretty nice. Forget, did they go here? It's one of these meteors. Yeah, they did. They rode the purple chocobo. Jumping Christmas. Do they have Christmas here? Do they have Jesus? What would Final Fantasy Jesus look like? I bet he'd look like Sephiroth or something. So I guess the conceit here is we're going to go to every single meteorite and get adamantite or whatever. Power up the adamantite. But there's going to be mishaps at every turn. You would play Final Fantasy Jesus? Isn't every Final Fantasy kind of like Final Fantasy Jesus? Because you're always saving the world or something. Maybe you're not like dying and resurrecting for people's sins, but you are sort of like a Messiah character. Sephiroth is definitely not a Messiah character. He's like the anti-Messiah. I was thinking about, what is it? Chrono Trigger, because in Chrono Trigger there's, like AD and BC in that one. I always thought that was strange, because, like, do they have Jesus? And, you know, that was, what was it? The guy, oops, I just killed my own guy by thinking about anime. I was thinking about Goku, because it was the same artist. It's like, is there Jesus Goku? High potion, Phoenix. There we go. But yeah, they'll be remastering Final Fantasy V and 6 and 4 for iOS and Steam soon, so I'll be pretty excited about that. It'll just be they call them pixel remasters, so I just hope that means they don't screw them too much. The ones that they did for iOS and Steam were not good. Okay, where's the next meteor? There it is. the Romeo Ballad, I think, stops them. I hope. And then I'm trying to kill them all at once. That's the plan here. Or at least sort of all at once. There we go. That's good. Pretty simple. Are you emulating or playing off of hardware? I am playing on a Nintendo GameCube, the Game Boy Player. I'm playing with the original cart that I bought back in 2006, and but I'm not using the Game Boy Player boot disc. I'm using a, what is that called? I don't know, one of those loader discs that you can load your own programs, and it's doing a low latency program, and then it's being output through a D-terminal cable to a frame master and upscaling it to HD. So that's my setup. And I'm also using a Hori Nintendo GameCube controller that was specifically made for the Game Boy Player. It was only released in Japan, and it's fairly... I paid too much for it. But I think it's actually more. It's more now. So I paid just the right amount for the time. It is a heck of a setup. But it feels great to play on real hardware, even if it is convoluted. Although, speaking of emulation, I did get a Amazon Fire tablet, Amazon Fire 10 Plus from Amazon on Prime Day, and I have since using, was it like Fire Toolbox? I have modded it so that it can play the Google Play Store, and it can play a bunch of ROMs now. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Shrek movie review setup was the most hilarious thing ever. It's true. This is actually very similar. This is very similar to the Shrek review. In fact, I think the only thing I would need to do is take out the Final Fantasy cart and put in Shrek. So, just in case you wanted to know. The rest of the game is basically going to be me mixing turtle shells with Maiden's Kiss to kill enemies. It's going to be pretty fun. Yeah, I'm using the exact same setup as the Shrek video. I don't know. It's fun. It's It's one of my favorite videos. Even though, like, I don't know. I think I will do a follow-up to it when... Let's see, then now I've gotten all the meteors, so now I can go to the next world. I think I will do a follow-up to the Shrek video, because I got an analog recreation of the Game Boy Advance that can output to HDMI, so I can compare how well my current setup is to that convoluted to that setup. So I haven't watched the Cinemassacre one. I haven't really watched James. I like to make fun of James, and I respect James, James Rolfe, of course. But I have not watched his Shrek video. I don't want to like spoil the integrity of my art by watching his Shrek video. So that's where I can travel to the new world, but first I'm gonna get some supplies. It seemed too close to your review to be a mere coincidence, but I'm sure it was a coincidence. Yeah, you never know. Maybe a slob saw my video and wrote it. You know, they have a much bigger audience. You know, thievery is the highest form of flattery. And Lord knows, I've stolen from a lot of people myself. You know, and I think everybody is stolen from the video game nerd, so what are you gonna do? It's all part of art. Art is a bunch of stealing. I was listening to Quentin Tarantino on a podcast, and he was asked, like, oh, does it bother you that, like, people... you know, started basically, you know, using your same style after you came out with, like, Pulp Fiction. And he's like, no, because I know that their movies weren't as good as mine. And of course, you know, Quentin Tarantino, he riffs off of a lot of, you know, content that he watched when he was a kid and stuff like that. You know, that's just all part of the process. And one thing I do not like is if people just steal your content outright and claim it's yours. Like, I actually, because I used to draw comics, and somebody, multiple times, people have stolen my comics and posted them on Reddit, and they became like front page things, and they didn't credit me at all. And then I would, you know, go into the, you know, the comments and be like, hey, that's my comic. Thank you. And sometimes, you know, you know, when it's like, here's the source, here it was me. Sometimes, like, the, you know, Reddit's kind of strange. They won't even acknowledge you. It's like it's very much a regurgitation factory. It's called inspiration. That's right, Zach. I always say the good artists borrow, great artists steal. So now we're going to another world. Where the evil tree is wreaking havoc. Because this has a good story, this game. a good story about an evil tree that you have to stop. Oh, so yeah, anyway, the Fire 10 Tablet Plus is really good. Like, after I, modded it to do just regular Android stuff and I put RetroArch on it, I put N64 ROMs on it, and it plays awesome. And it connects to my 8-bit DO controller very easily. So it's a nice little tablet. The screen is great. It's like subsidized by Amazon, so they made it really cheap. And I don't know, who knows how I feel about enriching Bezos, but it's so easy, it's so cheap, and it's a great tablet, a great emulation machine. Uh-oh. A monster. It's taking the women. You can just lose this battle. It doesn't matter. This is a story battle. Let's see if I can win that. That'll be funny. I did it. Then this is the ridiculous part. He leaves behind a chest and then you open it. A gas. Oh, here's X-Death. The most creatively named enemy in all of Final Fantasy. X-Death. Speaking of cleverly named enemies. John Badman. I don't know. I really want to be in the room when they were coming up with names for the bad guy. They were like A Death, B Death, C Death, no, X Death. Sounds more evil. X is probably the most evil letter, right? Alright, so now all of the main characters are captured, so now you have to solid snake your way into this castle and sneak and save your friends. Metal Gear. He looks like a Golbez wannabe. Yeah, you know. Yeah, came right after Final Fantasy IV, so Golbez is pretty fresh in the minds of everybody. But like when he reaches his final form, he's pretty much a tree. And then when he's in his final form, he's, I don't know, an anime mess. You'll eventually see. Golbez. Now that was an enemy, because you find out it's a very like Star Wars moment where you find out he's like your brother or something, right? The main enemy. And I've said that, I mean, Final Fantasy VI has a lot of Star Wars. You know, we're talking about artists stealing from one another. You know, Final Fantasy VI is definitely Star Wars inspired, with an empire, and there's instead of rebels, there's returners. And of course, they kind of lampshade that in the beginning, because Biggs and Wedge show up in the beginning. Although they're Vix and Wedge in the translation. Golbez was a cool baddie. I thought so. I think Final Fantasy IV is really, like, the story I think is really good. Because it starts off with Cecil basically like committing war crimes. It's very dark, and he's like grappling like with, it's like, oh, should I follow orders? Should I even do this thing? What am I doing? And he can't sleep. It's like, this is a video game? And then it's all about redemption, like, because he becomes the paladin instead of a Dark Knight. Final Fantasy IV is good. It's a good game. And definitely, like, it was way more ambitious than the stories that came before. And I think this game is a little step back in the story department. Final Fantasy V. It's a little too silly. And then they kind of ramped it up with Final Fantasy 3-6. Gilgamesh. Cecil put the pal in paladin. That's good. Oh, jeez. Four and 6 had so many great characters. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Final Fantasy VI, because it has like so many characters, but I feel like they're all done fairly, well done justice. There's games like what was it, Chrono Cross, was the sequel to Chrono Trigger, has way too many characters, and I don't feel like it really does any of them justice. It's almost like a gimmick how many characters Chrono Cross has. Like Shadow, he'd slit his mama's throat for a nickel. Oh man, that's a Ted Wosley line if I ever heard one. That I love unabashedly that translation. It's probably not the most accurate thing in the world, and probably done in like a few weeks. But I love it. I love it. I think it's a pretty good localization, all things considered. Unlike Secret of Mana, which I feel like suffered completely from the character limits and the It's a little bit stilted. There was a lot of color in Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, Chrono Cross had too many characters. I do think Chrono Cross is an amazing game. I played it. I read a lot of game facts to understand the story because the story is ridiculous. Because I love Chrono Trigger is a top tier game. Probably one of the best games of all time. Lightning in a bottle. And Chrono Cross is different, but I think it's fun. And I think the story is actually pretty interesting once you read a game facts about it. Yeah, the problem is, and it got to, I don't know what it is. The Chrono Cross got, like, every character had like an accent or something. They got like too artistic with it. So some characters were like kind of hard to understand. I was gonna play through and get all the characters, but I never got the rainbow weapon for Surge, and I just used the plot weapon, so I got. Yeah, I actually played the like crap out of Chrono Cross. I think I did the New Game Plus like multiple times, so I did the multiple branching paths and multiple characters, and I did it all. I don't know. I didn't have a girlfriend. But it was great. Oh, this song slaps. This song, I love it. This is the best song in this whole game. It doesn't sound like much right now, but just you wait. Here it goes. This is the slapping part. Right now. Yeah, anyway. I think, is it the Gilgamesh theme? I believe? I don't know exactly what they call it. But I love it. I'm just not talking so I can hear the music. He's still level 1. Can you do mix yet? I need mix. No, I can't do mix yet. I need everyone to have mix. That's how I break the game. I can throw a proper mixer, that's true. I am drinking whiskey, surprisingly enough. Although it's not mixed with anything. It's just whiskey. Here we go, Gilgamesh. Oh. Do I have any... Whatever, just punch him. That's my advice to all problems. Just punch him. That doesn't work. You got your giant cup of water? Well, you know, I should probably drink water. Should do a lot of things. I should go to the doctor. I've been to the doctor in like 10 years. Dang. Jerk. The heat is getting to you. I know, it was so freaking hot today. Oh, this is a pickle. Goodness gracious. So that's the thing, is that as long as I have one chemist with mix left, or that's a monk, but as long as I have someone with mix left, I can usually survive. Alright, you don't have any magic. Oh, I only had... Oh, okay, whatever. Good enough. Gilgamesh left his oven on. Yeah, that's true. Oh, actually, did I leave my oven on? That's like one of my biggest fears in this life. Is leaving like a burner or the oven on. And just everything that I own and love will just perish in flames. Hasn't happened yet, though. I've left burners on before. Luckily, I have removed the pan already. Yeah, I've left burners on in both situations. Not for a very long time. I usually noticed before it became any sort of problem. But yeah, I would have like a pan like heating for like a half an hour with nothing in it, or I would take it off, and it would just be like because I have gas. It would just be burning nothing in the air, just wasting gas. That guy absorbs lightning. I do like how all my guys just punch things. It's the benefit of having them all learn the monk ability barehanded. Where am I going? Where am I? Who am I? Ah, fairy orcs. Lovely. Yeah, it saves money on weapons. It's true, actually. Especially in the early game, it saves money on weapons. When you just punch everything. And it does pretty good damage. Eventually you'll grow out of it, I believe. But we're in World 2 now. There's three worlds, essentially. And I think it's still useful here. I just bought a teleprompter, which I've never used a teleprompter really in my videos, but I have a very long script for the Super Nintendo video I'm making, and I thought, you know what, I think I'm gonna use a teleprompter for that. Usually I just like memorize my lines and go line by line. I'll be recording that soon. It's a pretty long script. I don't think I need anything. These are all Black spells? I might. I don't know what red mages, what they can... I already have that. What red mages stop using for spells. I don't need any of this stuff I got. I will get a harp. Maybe I'll just maybe get a couple blades for fun. A wizard hat. A wizard did it. If you have any questions on the story, a wizard did it. Whatever. Tons of monsters outside the town. Oh my god. Temporarily doubles because I can drink these with the chemist. I got a few of these. If you're on stage, you gotta dance. Am I right, guys? No. No. I love the head shake. If you're on stage, you gotta dance. Yes. Of course. I love this. The 16-bit Carmen song. I love that somebody paid me for that. Oh, a secret piano! Nice emoji of dancing emoji. Da-na-na-na. Piano flex. Did you ever play Septerra Core for PC back in the day? No, what kind of game is that? I'm gonna Google it. Well, let's see. Septerra Core. No, I don't think I've even heard of this game. And I was pretty into PC games at the time. I loved the original Fallout, which I was playing around that time. What are you doing? I was trying to look up footage of the Septerra core, and then all of a sudden Ratchet and Clank came up. Whatever. Yeah, I see that it's an RPG. Yeah, I loved PC RPGs during that time. I was playing a lot of them. What was the other one? I mean, there were like Western RPGs like Fallout, Fallout 2. What was the other one with RPGs. Torment. It was Torment. Planescape Torment. You never beat it, we remember it fondly. Yeah. It was a good time. I love those times. All the like Diablo 2 and that era was just so good. The original Half-Life. Oh, you're so hyped for D2 Resurrected? Me too. I'm a sucker for Diablo. Sucker for Diablo. I played Diablo 3 probably almost to the detriment to my marriage. I know it wasn't a very well received game, but it got better. As it iterated, it got better. Yeah, Half-Life was kind of special when it came out. There was nothing really like it. It was just the seamless, story-driven game. It kind of reminded me of Super Metroid in a way, where it told the story through, just you experiencing it instead of like cutscenes and dialogue. It was just you just played, man, and you experienced the environment, and you saw the story through that. Quake 2, Half-Life, Quake 3. Yeah, I had a friend who had two computers that were networked together, and that was mind-blowing to me. And we played, I think it was Quake 2. We played that. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was so novel, because you couldn't really do that. We played like GoldenEye, but that was split screen. It wasn't like you had your own screen and you had your own computer and they were networked together. It was the beginning of an era. Team Fortress Classic ate way too many hours. Yeah, Counter-Strike, obviously. Counter-Strike. I went over to my friend's house and I played Counter-Strike with him. Started off as a Half-Life mod. right direction here? I must be. Ah, Moogle! Go-boo! I love Moogles. Instantly fell in love with them with Final Fantasy 3-6. 3-6. Especially with that commercial which I described earlier. What? Rude. I do not have any Phoenix Downs, so I can just do this. Alright. There was an old fan subgroup called themselves Mognet, and they went by the names like Kupop and Kumama. Yeah, I love the beginning of Final Fantasy 3 where the Mogs save you. Or the Moogles save you. It's a good game. Alright, I should probably heal this guy. Forgot about him. Forgot about Dre. Wasn't there like some like Final Fantasy like prequel announced at the at E3 or something? Like it's like a prequel to the first Final Fantasy where you have to like something about chaos. They say chaos a lot. And it has a very generic protagonist. Doesn't look very interesting. I don't know what's happened to Square Enix. Probably time. I didn't play the first Final Fantasy until later in life. I got a cart at a used game shop when I was probably in my early 20s. And I played it on the NES. I played it on the NES on my like plasma screen TV. It almost burned. Almost burned in like the menu onto onto my plasma because it was just like always there. I came across my Final Fantasy cartridge 2 days ago, funnily enough. Yeah, the first RPG I ever played was Final Fantasy 3. Final Fantasy 3-6. I found it at Blockbuster and thought of that Mog commercial, and I thought, you know, we'll give this a chance, and it spurred a love that lasted a lifetime. I did watch my friend play Dragon Warrior back in the day. Like my sister used to babysit a kid. He's a guy now, but he was a kid back then. And his mom would buy him every single NES game. He's one of those kids. And I remember he had Dragon Warrior, and I just couldn't understand what I was looking at. And technically the first RPG I played was Zelda 2. Yeah, I don't think I count Zelda 2 as an RPG, but it does have RPG elements. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Because it's kind of got like an overworld and random battles, sort of. Yeah. But do you remember seeing the video of John's cart with, where he went to That's Entertainment in Worcester? That's where I got that Final Fantasy cart. I saw it there, and it was fairly expensive for the time, but I was like, I never played this game, and, you know, it was before, like, you know, eShop games were readily available, or iOS games were readily available. I thought it'd be fun to pick it up and play it. And I played through it, and I loved the original Final Fantasy, playing it in my 20s. It's like you just figured out how to like have patience in your 20s. NES had the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and we also got Zelda 2 and Castlevania. Yeah, NES was pretty rad. NES was pretty rad. Is there any other secrets around here? I don't wanna fight anymore. Yeah, I really don't want to fight. Blood. Oh, it's this thing. I think I know how to beat this guy. I think you just use a Phoenix down. This is one of those like these... Oh wait, I don't even have Phoenix Downs. Oh well. Normally you... Oh, maybe I can use... Can you use Raise on this? Let's try it. Awesome. Yeah, Zelda 2 I play. My friend had Zelda 2 when I was growing up. He had like Zelda 2 and Metroid, and I borrowed both of them. I loved Metroid. And Zelda 2 I wanted to love when I was a kid, but it was just way too hard. And now as an adult, I can't stop playing Zelda 2. I come back to it every year. There's something about it. It's like the combat. I did a whole video on it. Go watch the video. Go watch the video where I talk about a lot about Zelda 2. I even forget what I said, so I can watch it later and remind myself. That's the fun thing about making videos, is that you can make them, forget what you said, and then watch them later, and it's you watch them and you're like, I am saying things that I never remember saying. It's almost like a different person made them. It happens all too often. It's like when I think I streamed all the Game of Thrones reviews before the final season, and I was just watching them with everyone else, and it's just like remembering some of the jokes I made. It's like, oh, I don't remember that one. It's like, it's only a couple years old, and I didn't think it aged well. Oh well. Okay. My sister's save on Zelda 2 was glitched, and she has a level L sword, and you kill everything in like 1 or 2 hits. That's interesting. Well, that's the thing about those games, is that they're very mysterious, and sometimes things would happen and you don't know how you did it or why, or if it was supposed to happen. I remember getting into like a lot of strange situations in Metroid where it was like glitched, or maybe it was intentional, but you didn't really know. The attack level was the L block from the life meter. Yeah. Yeah, Zelda 2 is interesting too. Because they re-released some games like a little bit later for the NES. I think they released Final Fantasy and Metroid. And Metroid had a different box art, and Zelda 2 was re-released, but it had like a gray cartridge. That's the one I have. Mine has a gray cartridge. So it was re-released during like the Super Nintendo era. And I don't know, I think I got like all A's on a report card, and we went to the toy store, and I was like, you know what? I never gave Zelda 2 a college try. And so I got that. And it was still hard for me then, because it was still Super Nintendo era, so I must have been like 9 or 10. And yeah, I still liked it. I appreciate so much about it. Oops, I want to do a different job. I still appreciate a lot about it, but it wasn't until I basically, like, seriously, I was like an adult when I could actually beat it. This is probably like 10 years ago. Let's do Bard. We'll do Mix. And you will be a chemist. Maybe I'll be barehanded. You had the gold cartridge, but you no longer have it. Yeah, I just have my gray cartridge. And I've probably purchased it for every single system there is. Wii U, I have it for... I forget where this Moogle went. It wasn't this way. No, the Moogle didn't go this way. Oh, the sand crawler, no! Can't escape, really? Oh no. This is bad news. A lot of stuff got lost over time. Because back then my mom wasn't. Yeah, you know, I was in collectible mode pretty early. I have a tote back over there that has I would say around the Game Boy Color era, I started actually collecting all of my boxes in mint condition. And so I have like a bunch of boxes, like N64 games in mint condition. I have like Zelda. Oops, that was the wrong one. I have Zelda Ocarina of Time with the box in mint condition. I have Majora's Mask. I have all of those things. Every Game Boy Advance game that means I have is got the box. Mostly my mother was really into antiques. Still is too. And so there was like this weird collectible air in my house, and we would go to Pennsylvania, you know, Adams, I think it was Adamstown, which is like the antique capital of the world. And so I would see all these toys with in the boxes, and I was like, you know what, my toys are great, maybe I'll keep them in boxes and or keep them in mint condition. And the only ones I really stayed in mint condition. I totally screwed this up. Yeah. The only ones that stayed in mint condition were my gaming collection. My dad was always getting rid of stuff to make way for newer stuff. My dad was like that too. He would just go into your room and throw away stuff. And it drove me nuts. Drove me nuts. Just have like your stuff thrown away. Because I was very much more like a collectible dude. There we go. There's Moogle Village. I knew I would get there eventually. Just had to reminisce about all the collectible boxes I have in a tote over there. And I strangely have a lot of sentimental value for my things, even things I should get. Yeah, but I'm a pack rat. I keep a lot of things. And it like extends the data too. I have like a ton of hard drives filled with like old data of everything I've done. I'm very much a pack rat in life. Kapoo. Yeah, Moogles are very cute. Don't really know what's up with the bat wings in the back, but that's okay. Aw, treasure! Oh, dancing dagger, that's pretty sweet. I already took it. Costume? I'm a Moogle now. I'm a Moogle! I'm a Moogle! Kapoo! Kapoo! Kapo! Koopo! Yeah, you know, man, I totally sympathize with you about throwing stuff away. It's really hard for me too. Do you have mix? Have Elven Mantle, and you have no, you do not. Elven Mantles are good. Moogles can all contact through telepathy, obviously, idiot. I feel like everyone was talking through telepathy in the Super Nintendo days. Like, you know, when you start off in Zelda, like to the past, like Zelda's talking to you telepathically. Earthbound is like lousy with telepathy. There's telepathy all over the place. That Moogle did the surprise Pikachu face. I love it. I love surprise Pikachu face meme. The Moogles told me you'd be here, Grandpa. So yeah, I was obsessed with RPGs in the mid to late 90s, obviously. And emulations first started to become a thing. And I remember downloading this game. And I think I had like one of the early English patches. But like my computer wasn't quite ready to emulate Super Nintendo. So it would load the beginning title screen and like it would be like the castle coming up and the dragon coming down, but then it would just like crash. And I was like, this is a Final Fantasy I've never experienced, that only was in Japan. I can't play it. It was like a forbidden fruit to me. And it looked so cool with like a dragon. I was obsessed with dragons. I wasn't missing that much. Actually, I do like this game. I mean, I play it every year, so it's probably one of my most played Final Fantasies, even though it's not my favorite. But that was the fun thing. The fun thing about that, like the early internet, mid to late 90s, where you were just discovering these things that, different worlds, different games that was in a different land of Japan that never got to you. Yeah, you remember those days. Yes. Oh, Zophar's Domain. Oh my God, you just sparked a little tiny piece of my brain. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I can like picture the font. Oh my God. Zach, you did it. I haven't thought of that in so long. Better mind my P's and Q's. Such a good localization. Well, the first Final Fantasy V localization on the PlayStation wasn't very good. Punished. Zophar's Domain is still there. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay. I'm getting tired, so I'm gonna hit the hay. So it was good talking to you, Zach, and anyone who might still be watching, as I reminisce about old emulation websites. I remember in those old emulation websites, it's like they would try to justify it, like it's okay to download the ROMs if you already have a copy of the game, which is totally like garbage. It's always illegal, but there was repeated on every single ROM website, like it was, like it was real, like legal advice. But it's not real legal advice. It was just some person made up. It's like, it's okay if you own the cartridge and it's a backup, it's cool. But none of the ROMs I had a copy of, so I didn't listen to that even fake text. Fake legal advice. But anyway, I hope everyone Google lawyers before Google existed, exactly. There's like YouTube lawyers too. But yeah, there was emulation lawyers. Have a good night, Zach, and everyone.